What is up, guys? My name is Keggernaut, but just call me Kegg, and I'm here on the PTR for patch 7.15 on my Brewmaster Monk, and I thought that I would do a more dedicated video, a bite-sized video, of exactly all of the current changes being implemented in this current iteration of the PTR. I have already streamed this when the PTR actually went live. I had that stream on my channel. It's about 3 hours long, covering like all of my just raw, basic first impressions of everything that I saw. You guys can watch that. There's going to be a link in the description and a link on the screen. You guys can watch that if you want. But I do understand that a lot of people aren't going to want to watch a 3 hour long video, or they're not going to want to have to sift through and trying to find the tank that they play. They're not going to appreciate that, really. So I thought that I'd make a more dedicated video, kind of just saying exactly all the changes. Now, I will preface this before I even start that Blizzard has said that a lot of the class changes that they're currently wanting to implement have not actually been put on the PTR yet. So especially the talent changes, that's basically the big thing coming in 7.15 for the classes, that there are going to be a lot of talent changes. So if we see nothing different for a Brewmaster, if we see nothing different for a Demon Hunter or whatever, like, just know that that is probably not going to be the case. We're definitely going to have some changes at least, but we'll just have to wait and see. We don't really know when that's going to be implemented. So with that said, though, actually we don't have any changes to the Brewmaster in terms of talents. Everything has been the same. There's no new talents. No talents have been moved around. No talents have any like number tweaks. Everything is the same, guys. So really, we can't really do much about that. But a lot of the changes that happened with Brewmaster so far have been in the legendaries. So we have got a new legendary. They added a general tanking trinket. We have a new spec-specific legendary. And we have had some pretty significant buffs to others as well. So we're going to go through those now. The first legendary, Fundamental Observation, the headpiece, has gotten a significant buff, everybody. So right now it says Zen Meditation has a 50% reduced cooldown and is no longer cancelled when you move or when you are hit by melee attacks. On live servers, this legendary, it says Zen Meditation can now last through 3 melee attacks or physical attacks at all. Like, it can last through that. That was okay, but this is very good. 50% reduced cooldown. That's going to make Zen Meditation go from a 5-minute to a 2.5-minute cooldown. And since it's not going to be cancelled whenever we move around or are hit by melee attacks, we're going to be guaranteed 60% damage reduction for 8 seconds. Guaranteed. The only time that this is actually going to be cancelled is if we cast an ability, or if we make a macro that is going to stop channeling this ability whenever we want. So that is a very, very significant buff. We're guaranteed that 60% damage reduction. That is amazing. Definitely very, very welcome change. And honestly, this could be one of the best. One of, maybe not the best, but one of, depending on the fight, obviously. So the Pride As, the neck piece, this has also gotten a significant buff. Every 30 seconds, you gain an Absorb Shield for 30% of your maximum HP for 30 seconds. Just flat out. You don't have to do anything else. Every 30 seconds, you're getting a 30% HP shield. On live servers, you have to wait 5 seconds without taking any damage, and you get 15% of your HP as a shield. But for Brewmasters, if you had Stagger, it's technically 15 seconds that you'd have to wait, because you have to wait for the entire dot of Stagger to stop ticking on you. So that was one of the worst legendaries. But now, this is very, very good, because it's just guaranteed 30% HP every 30 seconds. It's so solid of a legendary. We're just getting passive tanking benefits, just damage reduction. It's very, very good. Now, if you have this neck, it's not the worst thing in the world. Definitely, you're going to see some use out of it. The chest piece has not been changed, although this new legendary, this wrist, is very, very overpowered, guys. So each time you dodge or an enemy misses you, you clear 5% of your damage delayed with Stagger. So our mastery causes us to dodge a lot, obviously. And the more enemies that we're tanking, it exponentially goes up how many times we're going to dodge. Also, every time that they miss us, so when we dodge, it's technically considered a miss for them. But this was put in there so that whenever you use Exploding Keg, like, you'll get the benefits as well. So the way that this works is, let's say we're tanking a giant pack of enemies in a dungeon, right? We've got like 5 enemies on us. We have quite of a large stagger. We have like 65% stagger, right? Now, if we dodge an attack or if we use exploding keg and they start to miss their attacks, we're going to be clearing 5% of that damage. So we're going to go from 65 to 60 to 55 to 50 to 45 to 40 every single time we dodge or they miss. This is crazy, crazy overpowered. Crazy overpowered. Maybe not so much for raids because, you know, you have less chances to dodge, obviously, and exploding keg doesn't have that much of a benefit in raids. But for dungeons especially, this is so OP. It's so OP that it might actually be changed. Either the effect itself will change, or maybe it's only going to clear a 2% stagger, or I don't know how. But definitely this is a crazy, crazy, crazy legendary. And with this legendary, it is important to note, however, that this is going to devalue the effects of Purifying Brew, because since this is going to be clearing stagger for us passively, then there's almost no reason really to just spend a whole charge on Purifying Brew, because we're going to have this start to clear just every now and then. Definitely, if you take giant spikes of damage, you're going to want to purify because that's very large portions. It's 50% that we can clear, but this is 5%, so that's great. This waste has not changed, although Sinidaria, the general one, has also changed. Your attacks cause an additional 30% damage as physical to enemies above 85% health and heal you for 100% of the damage done. So on live servers, it was only 90% health that this triggered, and it didn't give us the leech. Now we get the leech, it lasts a bit longer. It's not that great. It's definitely a good buff, but it's still not that great for us because, you know, the other legendaries are just so much better. Just the wrist and the neck piece and the head, like those 3 changes are amazing. But also the waist and the chest and the feet and this finger are all still amazingly good. The waist just kind of still falls behind. The feet have not gotten a change. Sifu's secret also has a change though. Successfully applying a loss of control effect or interrupting an enemy grants you 70% increased movement speed and 25% haste for 10 seconds. This effect may occur once every 30 seconds. So on live, it was only 15% haste every 30 seconds for 10 seconds anytime that you did an incapacitating effect. So if you paralyzed them, if you leg sweeped, if you war stomped, if you ring a piece them, if you did stuff like that, that's when this can trigger. But now, anytime that you even interrupt, it's going to trigger for you every 30 seconds. Also, it's an increase in haste. Before it was 15%, now it's 25%. So that's like a mini bloodlust or heroism every single time that you have this. So it's not the worst legendary anymore. It's definitely very welcome, but it has more power in dungeons than it will in raids. That's just, you know, flat out just what's going to happen. The finger has not changed as well. Archimonde's Infinite Command. This is a new trinket, however. Just the general tanking trinket. Gain an Absorb Shield on use, so you actually have to activate it. Gain an Absorb Shield for 50% of your maximum HP every 30... for 10... Man, I read that totally wrong, my bad. So gain an Absorb Shield for 50% of your maximum health for 10 seconds. When the shield is consumed or expires, 100% of the damage absorbed is dealt to nearby enemies, split evenly. So, guys, I mean, that's an amazing trinket, like 50% of our HP. If people kind of were still like bugging Blizzard about guard and like we want guard back and this and this and that, like this is basically your problem solved. You have an on use guard for 50% of your HP every minute and 15 seconds. And it's a big damage cooldown as well because it's going to do a lot of damage. I currently have 3.1 million HP. So this is going to give me about 1.5 to 1.6 million HP depending. Like that is a lot. That is a lot. That is a great defensive cooldown and also a damage cooldown too because, you know, obviously it's going to split that damage. So that's really all the changes. I don't know what's going to be best in slot. Right now, if the wrist go in, that's best in slot for dungeons. Hands down, best in slot for dungeons. But everything else is more situational, honestly. Like, some are just quite solid. Like, the neck is solid. The trinket is solid. The waist and the finger, if you pair them together, that's also good. Everything is great, except this waist. It's still kind of bad. But either way, that's all the changes for the Brewmaster currently on the PTR. Many changes can be happening soon, and I'll keep you guys updated. But that's all I'm going to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe for more stuff upcoming on Brewmasters, Guardians, all that. So, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.